this video, I would like to help you work through Lesson 5 of the third beginner level of the Piano Skills Foundation series. So, you're on Lesson 5, meaning you've already worked your way through 1 through 4, and we're going to start a new memorized piece today. You're finally going to be done with my music. You get to play some really good music now, starting with Bach Minuet in G this time. We're going to do some new reading exercises. I'm going to take Danny Boy apart a little bit. So hopefully you'll have fun with this lesson. Just remember that you are probably going to be going a lot slower because of the tempos that I take on the video are not always what you should be doing as a beginner. You should just be taking things nice and slow. Make it easier for yourself. Have a good time. All right, so the first thing on your list, as usual, are your exercises. And from now on, you'll see these labeled as SACB, which is the acronym for scales, arpeggios, cadence, and burlesque. My students are used to me saying SACB. It's kind of a funny name for it, but that's what it is. You'll notice I wrote down D, G, or C, F, which means one day you could do 2 keys, the key of D and the G. The next day you could do C and F. If you want to do all 4 keys each day, that would be fine, but you'll notice if you go nice and slow like you should be, it takes quite a bit of time to go through 2 keys. So for now, if you just do 2 keys a day, that's great. If you just you love them and you want to do all 4, that's great too. Now what I'm going to do today, I'm going to demonstrate all 4 keys, but only in the key of D am I going to demonstrate the tempo that you should be going. Then in the other 3, I'm just going to sort of go through them at a faster tempo just as a demonstration so you can see what they look like. And you can choose the slower tempo for all of them, or should I say you should choose it. So in the key of D, I'm going to put the metronome at 104 and play the scale, the arpeggios, everything the way you should be playing them, so you get an idea of where your tempo should be at this moment. And then I'll play the rest of them as an advanced student would, so you just have a view of them. So here's the key of D, scale. I'm giving every note 2 beats, right thumb, left third, C sharp, right thumb, left third, left thumb, right third, 3 notes including 4th finger, left thumb, right third. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the arpeggios in D. I think you might be able to do this, especially the 1 chord, 1 note per beat. Then the 4 chord. Then the 5 chord. Five, 7. Back to the 1 chord. Play the cadence. As usual, I suggest you do the right hand and then the left hand, but I'm going to just demonstrate both. For the cadence. And then burlesque. Walking octaves. So that's at 104, and I'm showing you kind of the tempo that I think a beginning level student should still be playing. Now the next three keys, the key of G, C, and F, just to save time on the video, I'm just going to zap through them at the level probably a more advanced student would play them. But this is just so that you see what they all look like, and you can go back at the beginner speed, which is much more wise. But here goes the key of G. Cadence. On to the key of C. Cadence. On to the key of F. And that was your whole scale, arpeggio, cadence, and burlesque in the keys of D, G, C, and F. Have fun with those. Have fun with those. Have fun with that. That's what I meant to say. All right. So the next thing on your list, the tune Danny Boy. At this point, I think I told you in the last couple of videos that the tune at this point is optional. If you decide that you want to do it, you can watch this portion of the video. If not, don't worry about it. Just skip on to the reading exercises. But what I'm going to do today is I realize I made some mistakes with Danny Boy. First of all, you cannot go 120 for the quarter note, but if you put 120 for the eighth note, it actually is a nice slow tempo. So think of the 120 for the eighth note. I'm going to show you how that works right now. I'm not going to do both hands this time. I did that last time. I'm thinking perhaps this piece is tricky enough with all the fingering that you probably only want to do it hand separately anyway. So I'm going to show you each hand separately on each key, and I'll just go straight through it at 120, and hopefully that'll be enough for you to check on phrase by phrase and get it learned if you'd like. So here we go. In the key of G, in the key of C first. And I'll do the right hand, and the metronome is at 120, and I'm going to play each one of these first four notes right on that beat. So that was the right hand. Now I'm going to do the left hand in the same key, key of C. That was in the key of C. Now let's do the same thing in the key of F with the right hand first. So you start with your second finger on E. And then the left hand in the same key, key of F, left hand, third finger on E. Sorry about that. I'm going to do it in the key of G with the right hand. You start on F sharp, your second finger on F sharp. Oh, I goofed that up. It's 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's try that again. Now the left hand's turn. You're going to start with your third finger on F sharp. So that would provide a really good melodic fingering exercise for you if you wanted to learn how to do that in each one of those keys, or just choose one of the keys. But if you decide to do it, definitely is beneficial for your piano playing as a beginner. So good luck with that. Okay, so the next thing on your list is your reading exercise. Keeping it basic in D. I'm just going to go through each line. I'm going to do the right hand, the left hand, and both. You'll notice there's a lot of pedaling, so you can watch my pedaling. Hopefully you can kind of see when I'm changing if you want to sort of check on that. I'll do the every line with the right hand once, left hand once, both once. You'll do both till you get 3 perfect. I'm going to start at a nice easy tempo of 88, and by the end we'll be able to, by the end of your practice week, you'll be able to play it up at 120 or somewhere near there. All right, so here's 88. If you need to go slower than this, I definitely recommend it. Always want to just go as slow as you need to, but I'll do it at 88, counting it out loud. Your eyes are glued to your music. I guess I can show you here, but hopefully you're looking at your own music. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. There's the right hand part. The left hand just playing chords that you're familiar with. The 1 chord, 1, 2, and the 4 chord. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Changing pedal on each 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I just made it to the first line, first note of the next line. Now let's put them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And now we're going to do the second line, the right hand by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, and then the left hand by itself. Now we have a couple of other chords. There's a 5 chord and a 5/7, so watch out for those. Pedaling every single chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And you'll notice I play louder when I get here because the left hand has the melody now. So when you're playing the part where the right hand has the melody and the left hand has the chords, play the right hand stronger and the left hand softer, like this. Here's the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and of course after you get your third perfect there and here, put those two together. But now I'm going to go ahead and do the third line. The right hand does 1 chord, 3, 4, 4 chord, 2, 3, back to the 1, and then the 5 chord, 3, and the 5/7, 1, 2, 3, back to the 1 chord, 1. Okay, now the left hand has the melody. Starting at measure 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And you notice I did not change pedal on 3 here because it's the same chord, you don't have to change. Now make sure the left hand is louder than the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And after you get your 3 perfects on that, put all 3 lines together. I'm going to keep moving on to the last line, right hand by itself. This actually is not the last line of the piece because after you get here, there's a DC, which means back to the beginning. So we're going to practice going from here to here. 1 chord, 2, 3, 4 chord, 1, back to the 1, then the 5 chord, 2, 5, 7, back to the 1, then hold the pedal while you start the next line. Okay? Now, the left hand is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, now both hands. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay? And then, of course, once you've gotten 3 perfect on each line, you're ready to try the whole song. I'm going to start at the beginning, play all the way to the end, repeat back to here, and then finish where it says fine, and then this on the repeat. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it's going to sound like if you get it up near 120. So after a few days of practicing it, 1, 2, Back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was Keeping It Basic in D. Good luck with that one. All right, so your next reading exercise is D waltz. Still staying in the key of D. And of course, you know you're in the key of D when you see the key signature with the two sharps, the F sharp and the C sharp. I'm going to start this one today on the bottom line, which I think is probably the trickiest line. Let's learn the right hand chords first. It starts with the 5 chord. So in the key of D, here's the 1 chord. This is the 5 chord. I'm going to start here counting. A dotted half note gets 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord. Okay. And I should do this with a metronome. You don't need to do the metronome until you start getting familiar, but it'll help you hear the beat while I'm practicing it. So 1, 2. I think I'll start at 88. So I did the right hand on the bottom line. Now it's the left hand's turn. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. C sharp. 2, 3. So did you notice the stretch from the A down to the C sharp, and then your third finger? So that's a neat little section there for your fingering. Once you've mastered that, put the hands together. And it should be counting out loud. I don't know why I didn't then, but anyway, you know how to count that out loud. Get your 3 perfects with your eyes on the music and counting. And then do the next line. Right hand is pretty simple. 3 1 chords. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, then the 5 7, 1, 2, then the 5 chord. Okay, so that won't be too tough. Now it's the left hand's turn after you've got the right hand learned. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, now I'm going to put the hands together on that one. 1, 2. Oh, and I just realized I have. First time I've seen this, I haven't even checked. Now I have to run over here and get me a pencil. I didn't have any pencils on my piano. All right, so I have another fingering error to fix for you. Sorry about that. In your music, this says 5. It should be a 1. Didn't even notice till I put my hands together. Anyway, scratch the 5 out at measure 9 and turn it into a 1. You'll have to do that on yours because I've already published it. Sorry about that. So anyway, here we go. Let's do both hands. Or did I do the left hand yet? No. Oh, now I'm all flustered. Anyway, I'm going to do the left hand by itself. Your number 1 finger's on A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Okay, so there's the left hand part going from there to there. And now we're going to put the hands together on this line. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? Now, once you get your third perfect one, you could keep on playing. So keep working on that till you get your 3 perfects. And then on to the second line where I'm going to do the right hand first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then the left hand part at measure 5. 5 chord. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, now I'm going to put the hands together there from measure 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and then once you get your third perfect, of course, play to the end. But now I'm going to do the right hand by itself on the top line. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then the left hand has 3 1 chords and a 5 7 and then a 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now I'm going to put the hands together on the first line. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, once you get your 3 perfects there, you can play the whole piece. Now, every time you get another perfect one, you can move up the dial a little bit. And once you get to about 120, you're doing pretty well. But I have you all the way up to 160 perhaps by next time. So let's try it at 160, and then you can sort of judge your own playing and work on it till you get to however fast you'd like to go. 160 sounds like this. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that was the D waltz for your reading exercise. Again, make sure you keep your eyes on the music and count out loud all the time, and that will make you a better music reader. Good luck with that. All right, so for your new Learn and Memorize piece, we're going to do a famous piece called Minuet in G. You've probably heard this one before. Johann Sebastian Bach is given credit for writing this. It was in his notebook for Anna Magdalena Bach, I believe. I will play through the whole thing once just to remind you what it sounds like, and then we'll get to work on the first page. So you've officially graduated away from doing the tunes that I wrote, and you're on to doing better tunes, bigger and better music. So yay for you. Hopefully you're going to have fun with this one. Anyway, I'm going to show you kind of what it sounds like near 104. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm going to just play through the whole thing. I'm not going to take the repeat. You'll notice on your sheet there's a repeat at the bottom. You can go back to the beginning when you play the first page, and then of course again the second page also has a repeat. But I'm not going to take either one of those. I'll just play straight through each one once. That's all you need. Let's give it a shot. Almost messed up the ending. Hopefully you heard that, a little bit of fumbling in the left hand. But anyway, now that's just to give you an idea what it sounds like. I'm assuming maybe you've heard that before. Let's go ahead and start at the very beginning. The first thing you do usually when you do this is, when you start learning a new piece, divide your music up by putting the parentheses around the phrases and then chop them in half to remind yourself visually just to work in small 2-measure links. So I'm going to do 2 measures at a time. I'm just doing the first page today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the right hand. I'm going to play the right hand from here to here. I'll do it one time, and you can do as many times as it takes to get it memorized. So this goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, do that till you have it memorized. And then the left hand, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1. And then both hands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1. And you do that till you have it memorized and have done 3 perfects. Then moving on to the next half of that phrase, right hand by itself, 1 and then thumb, 2 and 3. Watch the F sharp. 1, reach down, 2, 3, and then the first note of the next line. Sorry, I missed it. It's C. Okay, I slopped it. So there you go. You go to there until you have that memorized. Do as many times as you need to and go slow. The left hand is pretty easy here. Your second finger is on C. I'm starting right there. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's not going to be hard to memorize. And then both hands till you get 3 perfect by memory. I'll do it one time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, Make sure you go slow enough that you can just think ahead and always be on top of it. But once you get 3 perfect by memory, do the whole line. I'll do it one time with a stop in the middle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Stop. Now from there, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Stop. And once you've done it once or twice with that stop in the middle, then do the whole line 3 times perfectly. I'm going to do it once. Okay. Once you get that whole line 3 perfect, move on to the next one. And it could just take you that, this first line could be your first day of practice and that's it. Then the next day, do that again. And if you feel like you're confident, you can move on to the next line, which I'm going to do now. Right hand, 4th fingers on the C. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. 2nd finger on F sharp. Okay? So now once you have that learned and memorized with the right hand, the left hand's not too difficult. Your 4th finger's on A. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Then your first note is D. So I made it to there. Now do that till it's memorized, and then both hands. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. And then once that's done 3 perfect by memory, the right hand by itself, 2nd finger here on the F sharp. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, and the first note, 1. And you'll hear different versions of this. Some people play this or write it as a grace note, and some people just play it like I did, so I just chose the simplest one, a quarter note and a half note. If you want to change it to something you've heard before, that would be fine. But do that right hand till it's memorized. Then the left hand, you'll notice, rolls a G1 chord. So it's easiest to memorize that as a chord. And then after you roll that, your thumb is on D. You reach down an octave, up a 7th. And that's the left hand part. So do that till you have it memorized. And then both hands. 2nd finger, thumb. Once you're good at those 2 measures and have done 3 perfect by memory, try the whole line with a stop in the middle. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I forgot to put the stop in the middle. Sorry about that. I was daydreaming. Try that again. 2 and 3 and 1. That's what I meant to do. Now go from there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It just goes to show you do have to concentrate whenever you're practicing. It's hard to keep your mind on one task. Anyway, I did it with a stop. Now let's do it without the stop. And you would do this till you get 3 perfects. 4th finger here, 4th finger here. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. Once you have that one 3 perfect, of course, try doing the 2 lines together. And that could take you 2 or 3 days to practice before you even get that much, or 4. It doesn't matter. However many days it takes. Then when you feel ready to move on, you'll notice that this line, the right hand is the exact same as it was up here. I'll play it real quick. The right hand goes... for the first half. The left hand, however, is different. Left hand, 2nd finger's on B, 2 and 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so that gives that part a little bit different feel. So let's do that with both hands. Once you get both hands memorized, right hand is already memorized. Left hand, you'll work on it till you have it, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And do that till you have it memorized. Now a quick review of the right hand for these two measures. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then the left hand, thumb is on, no wait, thumb is on C. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. Okay, so that's what the left hand sounds like right there to the first note. And then, once you have that memorized, both hands. 1. Okay, and then 3 perfect by memory there, and then put the whole line together with a stop. See if I can remember to stop this time. 1. Stop. Now replay that note and keep going. And then once you've done that once or twice, take the stop out and do the whole line 3 perfect. So you get that part learned. We've done it 3 perfect. You can put those 3 lines together. And then we'll start the 4th line. Right hand, 4th finger here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And then get that memorized, not too tough. The left hand's turn. Your 3rd finger, hard for me to read these sometimes. 3rd finger's on A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2. Now you stretch your finger to 3rd finger, 1. So that little gap between the fingers is a little bit unusual, but it's not hard. You can handle it, and plus it helps you memorize that spot. Okay, so once you get the left hand memorized there, you put them together like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then right hand by itself from here. Now, this is an interesting spot because you need to learn how to go from here to the repeat and from here to the next page. So what I'm going to do first is take the repeat once with the right hand like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, and then I start back at the beginning. Okay, and then the next time I do it, I'm going to learn how to play it all the way up to this high B here. So I'm going to go like this. Same spot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Then I jump up and play 5th finger on B. So you need to know both directions. Once you have that memorized, play the left hand the same way. We're going to take the repeat the first time. 1, 2, and 3. And then your thumb is 1, 2, 3. Then you jump up and play a chord. That would be the repeat. To there. Whoops, to there. Okay? Now, taking it to the first note of the second page, we'll go like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then you jump up and put your second finger on G. That's how you start the next page. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm going to put the hands together on that part. First, I'm going to do it going to the repeat. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and now I'm going to do it going to the second page. You could do 3 perfect each way or just 1 or 2 perfects each way. It's however you want, as long as you have it memorized. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and that was the going to the second page. Ha! I can't remember if I did it going to the first page. So. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do that from here to the repeat the first time with both hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and I'm going to do it again and go to the first note of the next page. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Okay. Now, once you have the bottom line practice, 3 perfect, do the whole line with a stop in the middle. I've decided I'm going to take the repeat on this one. 1 and, oh, sorry, third finger here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and stop. And then restart and go from there. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Now I'm going to do that bottom line again. I'll take not the repeat, but I'll go to the next page. But I'm going to do it without the stop. You get a 3 perfect or 4 if you want to go like 2 to the repeat and 2 to the next page. Either way, this is how you practice it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this is the first note of the second page. Okay, so now once you've practiced every line, 3 perfect by memory, then you're ready to play through the whole page. I'll just play through it once and I'll go to the first note of the next page. You could do it twice, taking the repeat to get that practice. I'm going to take it nice and slow. I know I played through the whole piece once already today, but that was pretty fast. So here's a nice slow playing of it for you. And that is how you start getting to learn the minuet in G. So the first page tomorrow, or the next practice, next practice in lesson 6, we'll work on learning the second page. Good luck with that.